He then turned the gun on himself. 2 young children were inside the house sleeping. A SWAT team took them out of the home.
What really killed me was that there were kids in the home and now they have to be left to the system.
Neighbors said the boys were the children of the husband and wife. Police said they are still trying to notify next of kin.
Out of jail tonight, the West Palm Beach man who claimed to be a doctor when he was just a teenager, Malachi Love Robinson, served just a year and 8 months behind bars after he pleaded guilty to practicing medicine without a license, also to theft and fraud in Palm Beach County. He also served time in West Virginia in 2017 when he lied to try and obtain credit to buy a car.
A Delray Beach woman had the dream of a perfect beach body. She flew to Colombia to get plastic surgery at a cheaper cost, and that's when her dream turned into a nightmare.
We do warn you, some of the images showing her results are tough to see, but she said she wanted to share her story as a warning to others.
Contact 5 investigator Wanda Moore uncovered a lack of oversight is putting patients' lives at risk.
I didn't feel good about myself. And I thought I would be coming home and being able to put on a bathing suit and go run around and look cute.
But Lindsay Colosimo's dreams were shattered.
No, this is my real life nightmare right now.
Complications from a plastic surgery gone wrong.
I would need to wear a wound vac from anywhere from 1 month to 6 months, depending on how the healing process goes. I have lost my nipple, and I have an open gash and then another wound underneath from where the implant is pulling my skin apart.
Dr. Carlos Ramos in Colombia performed 4 surgeries on her in May: a butt lift, tummy tuck, liposuction, and breast augmentation.
He's called the surgeon of Barbies. I was calling him a butcher by the end.
Lindsay had done some research on Ramos beforehand.
But unfortunately, not speaking Spanish, the things I saw were all positive reviews. I looked at a lot of his Instagram, a lot of his photos.
What she saw were sleek-looking promotional videos like this one.
Miles de mujeres han sido intervenidas.
Almost immediately after the surgery, Lindsay knew something was wrong.
Through the tape, I could see a black spot on my nipple, and I kept asking what it was.
He responds to her through text message. We asked a Palm Beach County plastic surgeon for his opinion.
Just looking at the pictures for you, would there have been ever a moment when you would have said that looks normal?
No, it's not a normal, it is a complication, but that's not the norm.
10 days after the surgery, she sent a picture to her sister, who is a nurse.
And she showed them to her doctor, and her doctor immediately said it was necrosis.
It meant part of her skin had died, and she would lose her nipple.
He did nothing about it, just kept telling me, you wait, his words were, it's like a snake, you'll shed your skin and you'll be fine.
But necrosis cannot be reversed.
I was mortified and I was ashamed and embarrassed, but also very angry that the doctor didn't tell me what was going on and kept telling me it was normal and that everything would fix itself in 3 months.
Around 10 days after the surgery, Lindsay was not getting any better.
I took a turn for the worse. I started leaking fluid out of my breasts and my stomach started to swell. I turned ghostly white, and that's when I kept contacting him, asking him, is this okay? Is this okay? He's like, yeah, you're fine.
You are not in danger, okay? You just have a little infection. Don't be afraid, because the things that are happening to you right now, they are not dangerous, okay?
I was scared to death, to be honest. I was scared for my life.
5 weeks after the surgery, Lindsay went back to Florida for medical treatment, and she spoke with a lawyer in Colombia.
In Colombia, there's no law that requires doctors to have a degree of specialty in plastic surgery.
Ramos is not a licensed plastic surgeon in Colombia.
We know of very scandalous cases where general doctors have bought fake degrees from foreign countries like Peru or Brazil.
Ramos refused several requests for an interview, but he answered some questions through his attorney, saying that he has a license from Brazil.
This is not normal.
Bernardo Guerrera is a retired doctor and a local politician in Medellin, Colombia.
How long have you been investigating him?
Carlos Ramos has been denounced for more than 12 years as a fake plastic surgeon in Medellin.
And why is it so difficult to shut him down?
He's paying off doctors to sign clinical paperwork. He's not a specialist. It's a big chain of corruption at a high level.
Guerrero says he's been trying to shut down fake surgeons in Colombia, but there are hundreds.
I want to make one thing clear. We're talking about a criminal organization. They're using all of these tactics to lie and to kill.
In 2016, Ramos was arrested in Miami in connection with the death of one of his patients in Puerto Rico. He was facing charges of practicing medicine illegally, but was found not guilty.
I don't understand how he was let go.
He's currently facing homicide charges in Colombia in connection with the death of another of his patients.
There's no respect for life, no ethics. The only interest is money.
With patients from across the United States traveling to Colombia to get cheaper plastic surgery, Guerrero says it's time to act.
This is a public health problem, not just in Medellin, but in the United States too.
The road to recovery for Lindsay is going to be long. Doctors tell her it will take 6 months to a year, multiple surgeries to deal with the infections, the built-up fluid, and to heal her wounds.
If you could go back in time and tell yourself something beforehand, what would you tell yourself?
That I was good enough and I didn't need to do this. Like now I'm left feeling like a monster because of things I chose to do to myself.
In his statement to us, Dr. Ramos blamed Lindsay for the complications, saying she did not follow proper instructions and she knew the risks when she entered surgery. Just today, I reached out to Dr. Ramos again, asking for an interview. We have much more on this in the documentary Shattered Dreams, which you can stream and watch online. I'm Wanda Moore, WPTV News Channel 5.
We turn to environmental news for a moment. New information. Stewart is close to becoming the first city on the Treasure Coast to ban plastic straws. City commissioners agreeing today a law banning plastic straws will now go before 2 formal public hearings next month. And then there could be a vote on the measure at the second hearing. If passed, the laws would slowly be rolled out in 2020, then take effect in 2021.
In 60 seconds, a Good Samaritan steps in to help and dies because of it. Tonight, a mother is calling her son a hero.
A 6-year-old handcuffed and fingerprinted. New developments about the officer who took her into custody.
Threatening their livelihoods, local businesses speak out. What might force them to close their doors for good?
WPTV tomorrow morning, something important you won't see anywhere else.
Yeah, Chopper 5's exclusive views above braking traffic, first and fast.
And Storm Team 5's also tracking some cooler temperatures and a few things in the tropics.
See you in the morning, 4:30 to 7 o'clock.
This is News Channel 5 at 11. Thanks for making WPTV South Florida's most watched television station.
A Good Samaritan trying to help a woman who was being attacked was shot and killed, according to police. Investigators say the night began at a bar in Jupiter. That's when Justin Todd offered a man and his girlfriend a ride home, and police say when they arrived, Todd intervened as the couple began arguing. Then Brian Bacayello grabbed a gun from his car, according to police, and Todd was shot in the chest.
He's always been there for me and everybody else, and I'll just miss just knowing he's there, his presence.
The shooter was denied bond in court this morning. According to the arrest affidavit, he told police he was afraid of Todd, but witnesses denied that claim. He also never called 911.
New information, Orlando's police chief saying tonight one of his officers has been fired after 2 6-year-olds were arrested. Officer Dennis Turner was working as a school resource officer when he made the arrests. The 2 children were taken into custody on misdemeanor charges in separate incidents, but police did not provide more on those circumstances. The Orlando police chief says he's now reminding all officers policy prohibits the arrest of a juvenile without a manager's approval. The state attorney says she is not prosecuting these children dropping all charges.
New at 11, clematis construction is costing downtown West Palm Beach businesses. They told WPTV News Channel 5's Arthur Mondale if things get worse, they may be forced to close for good. He's live tonight with what owners say they need from the city. Arthur?
And Michael, business owners I talked to say this construction forced them to slash their staff in half. In fact, one place I went to only had one employee. The next step, closing down for good.
You got really good food.
Pat Fiore has eaten at Pizza Girls on Clematis since the late 90s for the food and customer service, but he calls himself a rarity.
But they aren't going to walk 4 blocks to get here.
Have a slice night. It's a reality for George Poole, the man behind the pizza. He says he started making fewer pizzas as soon as the project began in early June.
When they shut that road down, we started to lose revenue day one.
Just how bad? He says business is down 60 to 70%.
I mean, we don't even talk finances with our employees, but that's how desperate we are.
It's desperation that spread.
I used to have 22 employees. I currently have 11 employees.
And he says business is down by 60% and delays only make matters worse.
This project was supposed to be over in October. What we're hearing now is January, February. How do I lose my best months of the year? November, December, January? That's season. That is what your heart and soul is.
Would it be wiser to close until December? Because this way, we don't have any expenses.
Business owners say they plan to meet with city leaders at the next commissioner meeting with more support and the same message.
We need help. We need support.
And we did reach out to the city late tonight about these complaints. We'll let you know when we hear back. Reporting live, Arthur Mondale, WPTV News Channel 5.
Right now, clubs against vaping are growing on high school and middle school campuses. The SWAT Club at Jupiter High School is one of 23 of these clubs in the school district. This year, students working against tobacco, SWAT, are focusing their effort on educating their peers not to vape. Each student has pledged against smoking or vaping.
Well, I've always liked helping people, and now that the problem is more like around my age, I feel like I can have a bigger impact.
The club has also put an anti-vaping drop-off box on campus.
All right, a lot to talk about tonight. We have some cooler weather on the way. In fact, almost into the 60s now around the lake, mid and high 70s and a couple 80s along the coastline. Rain-free, almost cloud-free, and we're looking at a beautiful night. Great first full night of fall, and sunshine returns tomorrow morning. We do warm up quickly. We'll get into the mid 80s by the early afternoon, but we're running about 3 to 5 degrees below where we should be this time of year. Our normal high is about 88. We won't see that until late this week. Here, in fact, the daytime highs, mid 80s through Wednesday and up to 87 on Thursday and Friday, and then up to where we should be this time of year, 88 by Saturday and Sunday. All right, tropical weather is busy. Figure this hurricane season was off to a running start. You'd be right. Lorenzo, the 12th named storm of the season, and that is the average number, 12 storms for the entire season. We're just about halfway through at this point, a couple weeks past the peak on September 10th. A couple of storms and one tropical depression. Karen struggling in the eastern Caribbean. It will bring some rainfall, though, to Puerto Rico and some gusty winds. This may develop back into a tropical storm. That's the official forecast as it crosses Puerto Rico on Tuesday and then moves up, well, pretty much north and then stalls. Gets caught in the Bermuda High to the north. It can't go through that, so it turns back to the west on Friday and Saturday. We'll have to keep an eye on it, monitor it. Of course, that's assuming that it does actually strengthen to a storm again. And the models bringing it back toward the west, potentially as a rainmaker for the Bahamas and then across South Florida. But a lot of uncertainty, to say the least, with that storm. All right, Jerry is going to have a big impact on Bermuda. Winds are starting to strengthen again, and this is forecast to be a tropical storm for the next 5 days. You'll notice, you'll look closely here, Jerry also has a chance of stalling in the central Atlantic. And some of the models, yes, they bring it back toward the southwest and back to pretty much where it is right now, 5, 6, 7 days from now. So another interesting, a potentially interesting track for Jerry. There's Jerry there. We have Lorenzo. Now, this is a storm that is forecast to become a major hurricane on Thursday or Friday. There's the forecast track, Category 3, right into Saturday, but it's at a pretty good latitude at this point that it shouldn't have any kind of impact on our weather. There are the forecast tracks in very good agreement here, turning it north pretty quickly. Boating conditions starting to improve, 2 to 4 tomorrow. Small craft caution is still in effect. It may be dropped at some point though. 74 overnight, beautiful. First night of fall with low humidity. Tomorrow sunshine, a lot like today, not quite as much wind though, 85. And lots of sunshine, low rain chances through Friday and just a few isolated showers on Saturday and Sunday. Enjoy.